just feel like it was about time that I come clean with you guys. I just thought, let me stop lying. Not even lying, but let me stop omitting. Okay, let me stop failing to tell the truth. So that's why I'm here. That's what this video is for. I'm in labour, you're telling me to calm down. I'm in labour, you're telling me not to cry. I'm in labour, you're telling me to keep quiet. Oh my god, nah. Oh, I don't even know what was worse, like the hospital that didn't open because of paint, or this hospital. Nah, that I'll never forget that day. Hey guys, what's Gucci? What's good? I hope you're all okay, doing well, staying safe as usual. Listen. Okay, before I even get into this video, if you don't know already, my name is Mariska. It's so nice to meet you. I hope you're coming to stick and stay with us. And if you are a returning subscriber, then what's good? Sorry. But how are you doing? Like, how have you been since we last spoke? Is everything okay? Yeah? Good. Yeah, I just feel like it was about time that I come clean with you guys. Like, I know that I've been saying, oh, I'm on a social media hiatus, I just want to work on myself, I just need a break, I just can't be asked. All of those things, they weren't lies. They weren't lies, but I was kind of shying away from the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I was kind of, you know? So yeah, I just thought, let me stop lying. Not even lying, but let me stop omitting. Okay, let me stop failing to tell the truth. So that's why I'm here. That's what this video is for. I don't even know if you can see, like, can you see my little bundle of joy? Like, as you can see, I'm cold. Like, this whole maternity pregnancy thing, it's a bit heavy, you know? But don't mind me. Where do I start? So let me tell you why exactly I moved, apart from the fact that, because obviously there are people there that are pregnant all the time. It's fine, it's a normal part of life. Like, it's a country, they have hospitals and stuff like that, so you could definitely give birth there. But let me tell you why I moved, okay? Ready? Stay tuned. Okay, so let's say I spent my first trimester in Ghana. So your first trimester is 0 to 3 months, okay? So whilst I was there, I didn't even have a midwife, I had a matron. Okay, so don't get me wrong, it was always in the plan to have a baby, and it was always in the plan to not give birth in Ghana. But what wasn't in the plan was when or how long I would stay whilst pregnant in Ghana before coming back to the UK to give birth. Does that make sense? So yeah, like I said, I only spent 3 months in Ghana after finding out that I was pregnant. Let me tell you why. So I saw the midwife now. She introduced herself. She was like, oh, I'm gonna be your matron. I'm gonna be looking after you. If there's anything that you need, holler me. Gave me her WhatsApp number. And to be honest, she was so nice. Like, I really like her. When I go back, I'm definitely gonna go back to see her, because she was probably the nicest matron ever. But yeah, I was thinking she was the only matron in the whole hospital. Like, it's a hospital, a proper big hospital, yeah, and there's only one matron. All of the midwives were on maternity leave, and she was pregnant. My matron was pregnant as well. She was due in September. So I was just like, wait, if you're due in September and I'm due on this date, you'll still be on maternity leave. What's gonna happen to me? Who's gonna take my baby? Like, what's gonna, if I give birth here, who's gonna, you know, who's gonna catch the baby? So she was just like, oh no, I'll be back from maternity leave by then. I was like, cool. So they did my bodily checks. They checked which blood group I was a part of. So in case, like, I'm giving birth and I don't know, I need extra blood, they know what blood type to give me. What else? They took my partner's details. They took so much blood though. Oh god, they took so much blood. Like, they filled like at least 6 of those little cups. It felt like a gallon. Like, I felt so dizzy that day. So then after that, she was like, oh, I need to go and do a scan. But their scan machine doesn't work. Like the scan machine, what's that thing called? Is it ultrasound? Like the scanner that basically like checks the well-being of your baby and stuff like that. Theirs doesn't work. So we have to go to another hospital, and she gave us the hospital that we're gonna go to. We have to go to another hospital, scan the baby, get the baby scanned, and then come back to the hospital that I was registered with to give the results of the scan. Bro. So all of this was in one day. All this was in the space of one day, like one morning. So yeah, she did all of that, and then whilst I was waiting for my results there at that hospital, we went to the other hospital to go get the scan. We waited. They made me drink 8 cups of water because apparently I needed to be hydrated. I drank my 8 cups of water, and then I sat in the waiting room. So once they called my name, they basically scanned me. They confirmed that I was definitely having a baby. So I was just like, okay, nice. Like, I'm glad that has been confirmed. Now we know what to do next. Yeah, so then they gave me the scan results, and then I took it back to my matron, and I just went home. So then she was like, okay then, so once the results of my blood tests and all of the tests that I took are in, she will let me know, and then we can come and collect it. I was like, cool. So she did. I think it took like a couple of hours. So we went to go and collect it in the evening, and it was fine. Now, the reason as to why, well, like I said before, we already knew that I would never give birth in Ghana anyway. What kind of heightened my concern, I guess, was the stories that people were telling me. And the thing that I witnessed myself. So the first one was my cousin. She lives in Ghana, born, bred, raised in Ghana, and then she's recently moved to the UK. So when I told her, she was like, oh, that's good, I'm happy for you, da, da, da. She was basically telling me about her experiences, or her friends' experiences. So she was like, oh, her pregnancy was calm, she was with a private hospital, so private hospital as well. Yeah, like, hers wasn't too much of an issue. The only issue was that the hospital that she was with at first, they kept on saying, oh yeah, it's a boy, it's a boy, it's a boy. And then somebody told her, oh, like, go check with another hospital. And then the other hospital that she went to confirmed that it's a girl. And then she was like, okay, so right now, you're telling me it's a boy, you're telling me it's a girl, which one is it? And then, yeah, they just kept on saying it's a girl, believe us, it's a girl. So then she switched hospitals, and they were right, it was a girl. So there was that. And then she also told me that the hospital that her friend was going to, yeah, failed to tell her that the baby was dead whilst inside her tummy. And I was just like, how? Like, stories like that, like, they kind of, it's you know, say, no. So yeah, stuff like that. But then what I witnessed, okay, so my man's sister was also pregnant, okay, and then there was this night where we were literally just sleeping. It was around 5 AM, sleeping now, and then we just heard like a knock on the door. It was her, and she was like, oh, come we take her to the hospital. Yeah, we got ready, took her bags, called her dad, called her man, took her to the hospital. When we got to her hospital, guys, the hospital gate was shut. The hospital was closed. The hospital did not open. Why? Oh my god, it's even the reason that pisses me off, Lord. The hospital was closed because they just painted the hospital, and the hospital smelled like paint. That's the only reason why the hospital was closed. Guys, because they painted the building. This one was in labour. This one was in labour at the back of the car. You're telling me that we can't go inside, There's no one inside. The hospital is closed because... And the thing is, yeah, they didn't even inform their patients. They didn't tell anyone. No one knew. All we saw was that we got there and there was like a little sign that said, please go to another hospital because fresh paint, da 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 da. So then we asked someone, like one of the guards that was there, and they were like, yeah, it's closed. They just painted inside, so there's no one there. So we need to go and find another hospital. Whilst I'm in labour. And it's just silly stuff like that. But anyways, let me tell you what happened next. So after this now, we were like, okay, so which hospital do you want us to take you to? Like, which other hospital have you been that you feel comfortable with? And she mentioned the hospital and we took her there. Oh, I don't even know what was worse. Like the hospital that didn't open because of paint, or this hospital. This hospital, Lord, like honestly, help. Ah. Like I feel really privileged to even be born here because, anyways, got to the other hospital now and I can't even say it. Oh, like I literally hated it. Oh, and the thing is, yeah, my mum was like, no, you don't want to come, stay home. Like he's always like, he's protective over those stuff. Like he knows that I was born and raised here, so he feels like there's certain things that he doesn't want me to see or he doesn't want me to experience, but I want to see those kind of things. Do you get what I mean? Okay, so when we now got to the second hospital, I'm proper avoiding saying what I saw because, but yeah, when we got to the second hospital now, we helped her out of the car, took her little nappy baby's bag or whatever, and went inside the hospital. And then all of a sudden one of the nurses stopped us. They were like, oh, like where are you going? And we're like, oh, she's in labor. She came from this hospital. Her hospital is being painted, so they're closed. So she needs, like, we need you to catch the baby. And then they were like, oh no, we don't have any more beds. Guys, I looked inside one of the rooms here and there was a woman on the floor in labor, on the floor. There was another woman in the bathroom. Oh, there was another woman in the bathroom, yeah. She wasn't even in labor. She was just like heavily pregnant. But you could tell that she was suffering. Maybe she was in labor, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not everyone in labor that screams. But she looked heavily pregnant and like, and she just spat on the floor. Oh, nah. Anyways, so yeah. She was like, there's no hospital beds. As you can see, there's someone laying on the floor, giving birth, da, 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 da. So we need to take her to another hospital. And then we were like, okay, well, which hospital would have beds? Do you get it? And they were like, oh, they don't know, they can't advise us on that, da, 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 da. So then, obviously, my man's sister is in labor. She starts screaming, like she starts crying, and then this is what pissed me off. The nurse was like, oh, she mentioned her name, and then she checked her file. She was like, oh no, I can see from your file that this is your second baby. You've already experienced this once. You should not be crying. You should not be screaming. You should not be, just take it like I was like, I'm in labor. Like, I don't know. I don't know if the pains in labor go down according to how many children you've had, but I really highly doubt that they do. You should not be telling someone to calm, like, I'm in labor, you're telling me to calm down. I'm in labor, you're telling me not to cry. I'm in labor, you're telling me to keep quiet. Oh my god, nah. After that, oh my god. So then we went to another hospital, yeah. This is our third hospital. We left home at 10 past 5, because we did everything quick. 10 past 5, we were out of the door. By the time we were going to our third hospital, it was at least, like it was daylight. at least 7 o'clock, give or take. And this woman was still in labour, walking around. Oh man. So we went to our third hospital now. This was a university hospital, and at that time the university students had like gone on break or whatever, so it's kind of like open to the public, kind of, I'm guessing, because they allowed her in. So that's why we took her. Yeah, so as soon as we got there, they came out, they took her, and they did what they needed to do. At that point they were even like, oh, what is it? The baby's pooped inside her belly, so now she's gonna have to have a C-section. I was like, Lord. Lord. And on top of that, so guys, just so you know, yeah, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy, a healthy baby, so we thank God and all of that, and she was okay. But I told you that she had a C-section in it. Tell me why, yeah, 2 weeks later, if that, she's calling us, telling us that her wound has opened up. I've been put through all this trouble. I've now delivered my baby. You've delivered my baby for me. You cut me open. Putting me back together was now too much for you. Putting me back together properly was now too much for you. That my wound came and opened up. Ha! A C-section wound opening up again. I've never heard anything in my life before. Like, oh my God. After that day, I was like, yeah, nah. Babe, I've confirmed that as for me and my household, we'll be giving birth in the UK. Because nah, I'll never forget that day. Ever since that day. Oh my God. But yeah. Okay, so apart from those stories that I've just told you, I kind of had like some personal things that I didn't like. Like, for example, in Ghana it's very, very humid, like as compared to England or wherever. So it's like the heat was just, like it was just getting under my skin kind of thing. And the heat with the constant sleeping and having to sleep like with an air conditioner, because I was always in the air conditioner anyway, but then like the smell of that, because obviously like now I've got heightened smell and I can smell everything. I can smell oxygen, I can smell water. Do you get what I mean? So now I can kind of smell like the air conditioning with the humidity and the constant sleeping. I was just like, nah. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the smells as well. Like, you know how in Ghana in general there are quite a few smells, like there are gutters, there are people cooking outside, there are, I don't know, cow poo, like you will smell a load of smells in Ghana in general. So with that I just couldn't. But yeah, there was even this time, yeah, when we went to go and buy some kind of meat. Yeah, went to go and buy some kind of meat, yeah. And there was some smell, like I opened the car door for a brief second, yeah, and some smell entered the car. Up till this day, and then I tasted the meat. Up till this day, yeah, tell me why I'm not able to eat meat. On the same day I ate egg, I'm not able to eat egg because they all smell like that. They all taste like that smell. It's so weird, but nah, I was just like, nah, yeah. I was really, really skeptical. I mean, with me, yeah, I feel like, I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, but I'm a Christian. I know that there's such thing as witches, wizards, people against you, stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? I was just really like, I I don't know, cautious. Like even when I didn't have my little bundle of joy, when I wasn't with child, I was cautious of like going out dressed a certain way, being looked at a certain way. Like I don't know, like I was always cautious of what I was kind of doing. Like I would always think about how I dress and stuff like that. But once I became pregnant, now all of that heightened. Like I was only going out in t-shirts, and big t-shirts, like my man's t-shirts and stuff like that. I wasn't wearing crop tops. I couldn't wear tight fitted clothes. Like I didn't want anyone to see that I even had anything in there. At that time I didn't even have a bump. Like my belly was still quite flat. Do you get it? But I still I didn't even want anyone to assume that I was with child or anything like that, because it's just, oh, like evil eye there is actually the things that people do spiritually there. I just didn't trust it. So yeah, if you dressed a certain way, I don't know. I can't remember, there was even this time, yeah, when my sister was telling me this, by the way. She said that she went to Makola, so that's like an open market. It's a big open market in Ghana. She went to Makola and then she was wearing a crop top, but it wasn't even that cropped. It was like, it was showing this much of her stomach. Like, you know, she was wearing high-waisted trousers, so it kind of covered it mostly. And then someone must have told her like, oh, you shouldn't be wearing crop tops because through your belly button they can stop you from getting pregnant or something like that. Someone that she didn't even know. So I was just like, yeah, nah, that's a bit scary still. So when I'm going to certain places, I dress certain ways. If I'm going to Makola, there's no way that I'll be wearing a crop top, because there's too many people there. People can be like, people touch you unwillingly. You're rubbing yourself against people. Someone can brush something against you and it could be anything. Like it could be anything spiritual. I don't know. So I'm always cautious about how I dress to certain places in Ghana. If I know that I'll be in the car the whole day, then cool, I'll dress however I want, because I'm going from my house, getting in the car, going to the destination, and going back to my house in a car. So, and I know that there'll be a certain kind of demographic of people that'll be in the place that I'm going to. Do you get it? So I can kind of feel comfortable with the way that I'm dressing. But if I'm going to somewhere like Makola and it's filled with like half of Ghana there, from old ladies to young people, and I'm wearing a crop top, it just makes me feel uncomfortable in general. So yeah. But I was someone that would like, I would have morning sickness, but I wouldn't vomit. It's like I would feel nauseous, but I wouldn't vomit, because I don't know, but I wouldn't vomit. But when I came back to the UK, it completely stopped. Like no more morning sickness. I'll still get nauseous and I'd have to force myself to vomit at times, but apart from that, I feel way better than I did in Ghana. So I thank God for that. Oh yeah, I also had like, because of the smell, I don't even know if it was because of the smells. I guess it's just a part of like the first trimester. I kind of lost appetite, so I would be forced to eat, like literally. Like it was a thing where if you're not eating, you're not moving from this table. That's how bad it got. They were forcing me to eat. So yeah, I would say that because I had the option, I feel like the healthcare system is just really, really bad, which is a shame. Like it's actually really sad. But I just feel really, really blessed to be able to have that kind of choice, to like be like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant now. I'm gonna leave at this time so that I can get looked after better, if that makes sense. And plus, like, my mum was here. Like my mum's in the UK. She comes to Ghana, but only like for like 3 months, and then she'd leave again. And if I'm gonna give birth, I'm gonna need her. Do you get what I mean? It's overall, it'd just be better for me to come back, be here for a while until I give birth, and then see where or what I want to do with my life next. So overall, I would just say that the healthcare system in Ghana is sad. Like it's actually very, very sad. Even if you go private, yeah, it's still sad, because although not having a scanning machine is not that major, having only one matron or one midwife for the whole hospital, that's major. That doesn't make sense. If we had the NHS in Ghana, we'd be soaring. Are you okay? Oh my god. But like, I saw a difference in regards to like the scans that I have to take, for example. Like, they were like, oh, by the time I came here, I was around 15 weeks. And they were like, oh, why didn't you contact us earlier? And then like proper sounding worried. And I was just like, oh, I was in Ghana. So when I came back, as soon as I came back, I registered with you lot and, you know, registered my pregnancy. And they were like, oh, okay, they just wanted to make sure that it wasn't because of any kind of abuse or anything like that. And I was like, nah, I just wasn't in the country, you know, like, okay. There was a scan that I was meant to do, like an 8-week scan. I missed that. So they rebooked me for an, but I think they were able to check for like things like Down syndrome. They measured the head of the baby, and stuff like that. But they don't do stuff like that in Ghana. So I'm very, very grateful. I'm grateful that I had options to wait, because if I didn't, Lord. Yeah. But anyways, I didn't mean to put you off of anything. I just thought that I'd be more transparent. By the time you watch this video, I've already popped out my baby. My baby's probably shouting in the room somewhere by now. Yeah, I just thought that I would share my experiences with you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay Gucci!